everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today I'm working through day 5 of By the Well for God's Walk This Way devotional. Now today we are talking about John the Baptist and how he prepared the way for Christ. Now Judy quotes Alistair Begg in this devotional, and I love what Alistair has to say. He says, John the Baptist had 2 assignments. The first was to prepare the way for Christ, and the second was to get out of the way. And so I thought this hymn, Trust and Obey, went so well with John the Baptist's story of just preparing the way for Christ and trusting and obeying Christ. Now, as you see me work through this page, you may notice something a little bit different. Usually my pages end up looking more vintage and grunge-like, but I am specifically trying to stretch myself on this page and use bright colors, kind of change up what I'm doing, because I used to use a lot of bright colors, but then I was really drawn towards the vintage look, which I still am, and most of my pages will probably still end up looking like that, but I'm trying to expand kind of and use bright colors as well. So here is the purple colors from the Distress Oxide, Seedless Preserves, and Milled Lavender. I am putting that through a stencil from Tim Holtz. I thought that stencil worked perfectly because it looks like little paths and John the Baptist is preparing the way. So here I start making my cluster. I'm grabbing those yellow canvas sneakers. I put that quote from Alistair Begg on the spiritual prescription card, and then I use one of the yellow labels we had received in a different kit because there was no yellow labels for this kit. And I said I wasn't going to make anything grungy or vintage like, but I did just add a little bit of definition between these 2 cards because they're the same color. And so I just added a tiny bit of brown on the edges just to add that differentiation. As I was working with my cluster, I found that the background was kind of competing with it, so I decided to tone it down a little bit with some texture paste, and I also added some Dina Wakley gloss spray in the color Heather that added more to that mixed media look. And while I'm waiting for that Dina Wakley gloss spray to dry, because it does take a little bit of time to dry, I am going to work on my cluster off the Bible page. Here I am trying to add a little bit more yellow to this cluster because I don't want the page to be so purple. So I'm grabbing some embroidery floss and stapling that to the prepare card, and also adding my date to that yellow label. Here I have a little bit of yellow fabric that I had in my stash. I'm going to just layer that behind the spiritual prescription card. That will help make it stand off a little bit from the page, both because it has a different texture and also because of the coloring. I'm still having a little bit of difficulties adding that differentiation between the prepare card and the spiritual prescription card. So I end up grabbing this label tape from Tim Holtz. This is the number one. The package comes with both numbers and alphas. And so I grabbed the numbers one, and I'm going to be putting that between the prepare card and the spiritual prescription card after I start getting everything layered and glued down on the page. I get asked quite frequently what kind of glue I use, and this is the Bearly Arts Precision Glue. This glue dries really fast, and it has a good strong hold, and you don't need a lot to make that strong hold. So in my book, this glue is awesome and definitely worth picking up. I'm going to work on putting that label tape in between these 2 cards. Now, it doesn't need to be a focal point of this cluster, so I don't mind if some of it gets covered, but it just is there to add that differentiation. Once I've put that down, I realized that I do need a little bit more yellow in the bottom right hand corner. It just needs a little bit of grounding for this prepare card, and that yellow is missing there. So I'm going to grab an oldie but a goodie. I'm going to grab some Nuvo drops. This is in the color English Mustard. It's not necessarily a mustard that I would think of when you think of the color mustard, but it is a bright yellow that works well with these Converse sneakers found in the kit. And that will be it. If you've enjoyed this page, please like and subscribe to my channel, and you can go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. God bless.